They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Chicago Bears. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Jack, go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long.
Ready.
They'll look to throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. You look at this Bears defense. They played extremely well last week, and that went over the Packers.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They bring a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Looking to throw. Harden. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Complete to Trey Tucker.
2nd down and inches. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Bears are the perfect 4-0 to start the campaign. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
In trouble, and he's taken down. multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt.
Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted. But he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there.
With his 4th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Cardinals have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
Extra point hooks a bit, but it's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position. Up past the 40-yard line. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 43. Back to throw. Harden. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Jalen Waddle with a milestone. Career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. And the Bears have retaken the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a first carry for their fullback. And unable to get downhill there, so take this up to about the 37. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
On first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the type
and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 14 to 10. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this
touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. 55 yards. And the Bears have yet again retaken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage.
They'll set up a throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. They'll run on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That sort of goes without saying. That's the risk of running the option play. You can put the ball on the ground. They did there and turned it over.
So true, because you've got so many different decisions that have to be made. Are you handing the ball off inside, or are you just keeping it yourself, or you pitch it to your trail guy? And sometimes you get caught in between, and you're a little indecisive on the play, and it turns into the ball on the ground. Fortunately enough, they weren't able to return it for a touchdown.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 5.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Off the play fake. Harden. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Bears, 1st down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A touchdown run there from a yard out, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units in there. Kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. He's going to try and take off with it.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
And taken right on the 30.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Bears take over.
Okay, ready?
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
It's now second down.
Looking to throw. Harden will let this go deep for Collins. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. Nico Collins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's good for our Cardinals.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid game to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
On play action, they'll throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on 3rd down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there. And he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, they get back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he returns this to the 22. The
Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Let's go.
Off play action. Harden. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
B.J. Ojulari getting in there and dropping it.
Loss of 12 brings up third down.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory.
46-yard line.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Go.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And not enough on the throw that time, as that one is incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Jalen Waddle
With his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bears take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21.
17.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Following the fumble recovery, Harden. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
Now he's loose, standing off sideline.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points.
Cardinals 17.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
117 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 33. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Yeah, let's go.
Now a handoff up the middle. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard down at the 31.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
And got his man complete. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
30 yards.
And the Cardinals are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
They're all about the numbers, huh?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Bears. First down. 1st and 10 at the 20.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That's a big league job there, getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up first and goal.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be prevented.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up, and they're still down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Following the fumble recovery. Harden. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there with an amazing diving catch. And the Bears get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
The give to the fullback on the down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Ready?
First down, Arizona.
Up the middle they go. Boom. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he's loose again. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. We know he's got the arm, but watch out for those wheels.
Kind of harkens back to guys that used to call the scrambler and the dodger. This guy can make it work with his legs.
Field opened up. He took advantage.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers, 19 charge.
Back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Panther 11, Panther 11. Let's go now. Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. falls here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
60 Vikings, 60, no street.
He'll drop to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now obviously they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
122 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Let's go!
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And despite a nice juke there, really good move, he only gets about a yard, and it brings up 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Going back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Harden. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
19, Tiger, 19, 70 range, 70 range.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Off the play fake. Harden. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown. And the blowout continues. Another touchdown in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Let's go now. Ready.
Now they'll give it to the first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the... And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offenses have success. You can say they run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the...
707 Collins. We in Miami and we ballin'. She let dollar pull up, bitch, we mobbin'. Every time I'm in the city, we be locked in. Ay.